All this is going to do is add to the confusion that I get for My Hero Academia. All for one for all. This one, it's one is all is one. It's like one for all versus all for one are like against each other in My Hero Academia, whereas here it's like this is a statement. It's like one is all is one. It's like, damn it, that now my confusion has just skyrocketed even more. Ugh, I'm joking, by the way. So yeah, episode 12. We're moving into the deeper sections of this anime, and things are going to start getting really interesting here soon. Yeah, in terms of like the storyline catching up to where it was and it split off in the original series and like went off, and the original series went off and did its own thing. Basically, from I think either this episode or the next episode, we're going to be following what the original like manga, the original like comic series did.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, this is an interesting part of the show. So I'm glad we're here, and I'm glad we made it this far. So I guess without further ado, let's just jump on in. This is episode 12 of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. One is all is one. Here we go.
Good to see you. You've grown up a little, huh?
Yes.
Looks like you've grown up more than a little.
No one's patted my head like this since back before I lost my body.
Ooh.
Ouch.
I hear you've become one of the military's dogs. Al? Look at you, you've gotten so big. I'm perfectly...
So yeah, remember...
That also reminds me of All Might. So.
Yeah, you remember in the train station I told you about at Central, is like someone just walked through that was very important? It was them. It was...
Oh, really?
Izumi and Sig. They walked in... Yeah, they walked in the background. I didn't want to say anything.
I recognized the tall person.
Yeah, because I think it was...
I said something about
it being about the same size as like Armstrong. Being big like Armstrong.
Yeah.
Which, that's Sig Curtis. He is a butcher, and he is a mega brawny man. I'd say he's just as big as Armstrong.
You should.
And he's also an absolute sweetheart.
How sweet.
He's like, you talk about two people who are in love. I mean, come on.
Is that her husband?
Yes.
I don't know.
That's what I feel like when a couple
no
is mushy around me.
Sort of, kind of the same. I'm just like, I can appreciate, being in a relationship where you're comfortable, showing that much affection with each other, but God, you're making me feel alone.
Hohenheim.
Oh. Saw a funny dub years ago. There's just like him walking out the door. Right before he leaves, he stops. He's like, I'm going out for milk. Slams the door really fast.
Oh my goodness.
It's just like, damn it all.
I was going to say that's the look of a man who is debating on suing the condom company because he can't believe it broke twice.
Either that or it's, from the perspective of a child, a father looking down at you can be seen as like a sort of a condescending thing. I don't know. Because I misremember things from when I was a kid. And, I remember things that were like scary to me, but to my parents it was like, it was funny.
Did our dad say anything about the Philosopher's Stone?
Something about a lifelong dream coming true. Now we're going to eat. Okay.
It's like, okay, why are you a bitch?
You'll understand. Like, here's the thing with Izumi. She holds stuff back. She knows more than she's letting on, but she's giving them a chance to open up to her about stuff.
Okay, but why is she a bitch?
Because, well, she practices a very
Is it more
very
like
intricate form of tough
or
love,
something? Yeah.
especially for someone like Ed,
Oh,
who is
intricate
very
form
much
of tough love. You mean straight up abuse. I got you.
Well, I'm sorry, but someone like Ed deserves it, because kind of a brat.
I wouldn't say that. He didn't do anything just now. Like,
Yeah,
literally
he did.
got hit
He
on the
didn't.
head for...
Yeah, he didn't open up to her. She knows this, and that's why she did it. You'll see. Uh-oh. Did you notice that about her alchemy? She doesn't need a circle either.
I figured. Oh, shit, that's why Ed doesn't. So. Be weird if his teacher used the transmutation circle and then he just somehow ended up not. Like, wouldn't make sense as to why he needed to learn from her, you know what I mean?
But that's... You don't get it. Alchemists... There are no alchemists out there who can't... Like, there are no alchemists out there who cannot use a transmutation circle. The only ones who can't... The only ones who can use alchemy without a transmutation circle are her and Ed.
So she experienced loss too then somehow, right? Or how did he become...
That's... Like, it's explained, like he was, like, that's why he got such a quick pass-through on becoming a state alchemist, is the fact that he didn't have to have a transmutation circle.
But why?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't call her an old lady.
Please, old lady! You two are on your own. This is your introductory training. One is all, and all is one. You have 1 month to figure out what that means.
Imagine that, being abandoned on an island for a month.
At that age, unless you were already doing really well in Boy Scouts, which I don't even know if this world has Boy Scouts, you wouldn't survive for a month.
Probably not.
Look at how small that island is. There's probably not even anything to catch to eat on that island.
Well, there is wildlife on it.
Let's take that back. Oh.
Sorry, little guy. That's the thing. Survival of the fittest. If you don't take advantage of it, then someone else will.
Maybe we should just switch to...
That's nature. I mean, nature's not pretty. People have this majestic idea of nature. It's just like, oh, it's a great, beautiful, perfect cycle. No, it's ugly.
Those are the people that become vegans.
Yes. No. He's delirious.
Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
I'm alive because I consumed life.
There you go. Yep. The drill. Add some tinder. Preferably some dry leaves.
Like, all of a sudden he had a realization and learned the entire Boy Scout handbook.
All is the world.
And one is me.
Very well. Now the real training starts. Which denotes the circulation in order to...
Sort of like how I feel whenever, like, my nephews are trying to fight against me, and I'm just so big that they're trying to tackle me and everything. I'm just like, nope, nope, nope.
You can do it without drawing the structural matrix?
Perhaps it's something you learn when you see the truth.
Oh. So she saw the truth somehow. Like Ed did whenever...
You remember when in the beginning of the series...
whenever he tried to bring his mom back and then...
He went through the door and he saw everything. Mm-hmm. The truth.
So she somehow did that too.
Mm-hmm.
As I suspected, you can transmute without a matrix.
They tried to have a kid, they lost their kid, and she attempted human transmutation to get her kid back. That's what I'm guessing from all the clues put together.
Yeah.
Took her womb,
Oh.
and all that was left.
When we were finally able to conceive, I ended up falling gravely ill. And our child as well. He was not able to take a living breath in this world. I committed the taboo. It must have been awful.
Nah, I did it to myself after all. It hasn't been that big a deal, actually.
Besides, now I've got this long list of things I get to look forward to eating when I have my body back.
Please forgive us.
We're so sorry.
Please forgive
We're
us.
so sorry.
Alchemy is part of that flow. And the flow is life itself.
So yeah, that was their teacher, Izumi, and honestly, damn. I mean, you feel for her because, you know, her and Sig tried so hard for so long to be parents, and then the one time that they were able to like conceive, that happened. And honestly, it just goes to show you, like, the characters in this, there are no truly like fully virtuous characters that are like 100% clean or 100% like they're 100% like perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And I think doing that right there, showing that the teacher, even though she's so powerful and she's so capable, even she's flawed, and she's had her downsides and her faults in life.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, that's. I remember seeing this and just thinking to myself, "Damn! I mean, I wouldn't know what to do. I mean, if I'd lost my child or I'd lost my mother." Because that's the thing. I think about my mom. You know, I remember the car accident and almost losing her there. And I just remember thinking to myself what I would give for her to be okay. What I would give for her to be all right. And yeah, if alchemy were possible, I don't know if I would be able to I don't know if I'd be able to resist the temptation of trying if something did happen to her. Same thing with my dad.
I think one of the major flaws of a like taboo in this sense is not documenting well enough why it's not supposed to be done.
True.
Just being like, you don't do that, just don't ever do that, is not good enough. You have to tell people what the consequences are if you don't want them to do something.
Well, even then, human desperation, I mean...
Even then people will still do it, but
yeah.
People are going to be less likely to do it if they know what could happen to them.
Well, and I think that's why there's only 2 alchemists.
And if they know that the outcome is very unlikely to even work.
Well,
if even possible for it to work.
Well,
you know?
And that's why I think, you look at the example, out of all the people in the world, I think it is pretty well tabooed because, like documented that it's taboo and you shouldn't do it, is because there's only 2 people right now who have the ability to do that and have committed human transmutation.
Clearly there were enough people that tried it beforehand that everyone decided as a society that should not ever be attempted again.
Yeah.
And they should have said why to everyone.
I guess.
Why is better than don't.
True.
Same deal with, like, parenting, Like, because my mom parented me in the way that was, like, just don't a lot. But in my opinion, giving a why is better than just a don't.
Well,
like, I'm much less likely to actually go and do something if I'm told why it could end badly than I am if I'm just told because I said so.
But you see, as an adult, yes. But you understand and you can,
As a kid, I would have been the same way, though. There are still things that I remember that my mom was like, because I said so, that I'm like, that was literally just because you were too lazy and didn't want to take me to do something or something like that. My dad, even when my dad told me
why I shouldn't go underneath the house without him or without anyone there with me. He told me it's just like because you can get trapped under there, and if that happens, we won't know where you're at. And I still did it anyway.
Way to go.
I know. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm the example that should be followed, and everyone should, look at how how things happen with me. But even when
definitely not, because
even
there's
when
a
all the
percent chance you
warning
wouldn't
signs
be
are there,
here right now if you did get stuck and they didn't know where you were at.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, if
it's like you're basically lucky that exactly what they said would happen didn't happen.
Yeah, but even so, people still are willing to do things if it means they're able, especially with a desperation like this. I mean, imagine being able to, embrace the person that you want most again, one more time. There are people
if they had written in a book, human transmutation is not real. It's nothing but a hopeful and wishful thinking that's going to bring forth an abomination in place of your loved one that you want back, and
Yes.
it's going to take from you way more than it'll ever give, and it's going to scar you and destroy you for life.
Yes.
And if someone's still stupid enough to try it after that, don't care how desperate they are, they deserve what they get.
I'm not saying that they don't deserve what they get, but there's a reason why they did it, because of how desperate they are.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure if Al and Ed had have realized that, human transmutation doesn't work, all we'll end up doing is seeing a horrifying, scarring visage of our mother's, twisted and mangled corpse, and we'll most likely lose pieces or all of our bodies in the process, they may not have actually tried it. If they had that information ahead of time.
They did.
Because they clearly regret it.
Well, they did have that information beforehand.
Not to a T, no.
Yeah, they did. They were told in the book it's taboo and should not be attempted.
With all the details I just listed? Or it's taboo and it should not be attempted?
Meaning it should not be attempted. Meaning do not do it.
Why?
I guarantee
It's exactly what they thought. That was exactly what was running through their minds. Why? Why not attempt it? Because people who attempted it before probably just weren't as good as us. So we'll attempt it and we'll do it right this time.
I'm sorry.
And
Nick,
they could still think the same thing with all those details
Nick,
in mind, but with all those
Nick,
details, they'd be less likely to be that.
You're basically making the same argument that communism has had. It's like, it wasn't right that time, but we'll make it right this time.
I'm not making that argument. I'm telling you that's what they fucking said.
And exactly. You're making the argument that it's the same ideological thing. People are going to attempt the impossible because people are fucking stupid sometimes.
So you're telling me that you do not agree that less people would try this if they had the details of exactly how it would turn out?
I guarantee you, dude. That I'm saying in this world, it's already not a lot of people try it. Because how many current alchemists that are alive right now in this world, with all the taboo and all the stuff that's in place, how many of them have seen the truth? As far as we know, 2.
This is going to have to be an agree to disagree situation.
What? I'm saying, dude, how many? 2. Izumi and Ed.
That we know of.
Yes. But you'd think that people would be amazed at, and would tell stories of alchemists who can use, use alchemy without a circle.
They kind of do.
I know, and there's 2 of them. Just those 2 that we know of. And in a world as big as this, I mean, come on, man. I mean, I would say that it's more than enough taboo that you're never going to not have... dude, Chris Porter said, the sun is bullshit. And there are people out there who believe that shit. Even though it's right fucking there, and they know, and we know it's not bullshit. There are going to be an X amount of people who do dumb shit. No matter how many warning signs you put up, there are always going to be idiots that push past it. Either out of desperation or a willingness to prove the world wrong. It's like flat earthers. It's the same damn thing. It doesn't matter how much evidence you put in front of them. You could fly them into space and they could literally see the earth as a ball. And they're still going to say it's fake.
All right.
I mean, If anything, it speaks to the level of human, like, just the dedication of human stupidity. All right, but anyway, that's going to do it. So until next time, I'm Nate.
I'm Kate.
I'm Nick.
See you later, everybody. Peace.